So the new movie I saw this week is Ghost in the Shell. Anytime Hollywood decides to make a Japanese property of anything, I get a little worried. I'm not gonna lie. I blame Dragon Ball Evolution and Godzilla from '98. God, those were terrible. But now to summarize the plot of this movie. In the future, when humans and technology commingle to a high degree where humans can be cyber-enhanced partially or have their consciousness known as your ghost put into a whole new body known as a shell. Major, saved from a terrible crash, is the first of her kind and hence to be the perfect soldier. But as she attempts to stop a new terrorist threat, she learns everything she's ever been told about herself is a complete lie, and it will stop at absolutely nothing to find out the truth about her past. I know that was kind of a lot, but that's the basic gist. To start with the positives, the visuals in this movie are amazing. Everything is just so beautiful to look at. You always catch yourself looking at the stuff in the background instead of following the main plot because it's so awesome looking. And all the action was done really well too, between all the gunfights and the hand-to-hand combat, running on walls kind of stuff. It was awesome. Of course, most of the scenes in the movie that are awesome action-wise involve Scarlett Johansson using her camouflage suit. But I enjoy any excuse to see Scarlett Johansson in a skin-tight outfit. I mean, I'm only human. With all the controversy of Scarlett Johansson being cast as the Major, I think she did a pretty good job with the performance. They didn't really stray too far from the design of the original characters between her, the guy that plays Batu in the movie, I forget how to say his name, and the guy that plays Aramaki. I mean, they're all pretty good, solid counterparts to the anime. Speaking of the anime, if you're a big fan of the anime or just the 95 movie or the sequel to it, there's a lot of references to the 95 movie and the anime. So if you're a hardcore fan of Ghost in the Shell, you're going to kick up on a lot of that stuff. Now I have to talk about some negatives with the movie. As complicated as I made the plot sound earlier, this movie's plot really isn't all that complicated. I don't want to say it's a dumbed down version of the 95 film and the anime and all that. But I guess the nice way to put it is it's more streamlined and kind of a basic plot. A lot of the deep themes of Ghost in the Shell are kind of missing here, the philosophical and ethical implications for cyber enhancing your body or just completely getting a whole new body. They probably just wanted to make it pretty basic and not make it too complicated for the West because I guess we're idiots. I also wasn't that big of a fan of the villain in the movie. I guess you could call him a villain. I don't really want to go into spoiler territory as far as that goes, but he's not really even in the movie that much, but he's supposed to be the bad guy. And since he's not even in the movie that much, the third act of the film kind of suffers for it. Of course you're going to get your epic final showdown like you do in basically every action movie ever. But since he's not even in the movie all that much, the final showdown kind of just comes abruptly. I mean, the movie's not that long to begin with, and neither was the original 95 movie either. But it's so abrupt, and you can't really do that in a live-action movie where it's just here's a bunch of backstory in the third act, and then, oh, by the way, here's the final fight. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the fight, because I liked all the action scenes in the movie, but it just kind of felt like a rushed ending, I guess you could say, because they didn't really have much left by the end of the movie. I know I talk about the 95 movie a lot as far as comparisons to this, but they take a lot of scenes from the 95 movie and just make them into live action, which overall I think was pretty good, but after a while I kind of was just I'd rather just watch the 95 movie because I feel like I've already seen this. Overall though, to give my rating of Ghost in the Shell, I would have to give the movie Ghost in the Shell a B-. I'm not sure how diehard Ghost in the Shell fans are going to react to this movie, but as someone who's not a gung-ho diehard Ghost in the Shell fan, I thought it was a decent film. I mean, it's no masterpiece because the plot's kind of weak, but it's a serviceable film as far as live-action adaptations of Japanese, manga, anime go. Definitely not as bad as Dragon Ball Evolution, but that's setting the bar very low. But anyways, that was my quick review of Ghost in the Shell. Comes out this weekend. Feel free to go and leave your thoughts and leave a like or subscribe. Any of those. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.